That's just us getting a bit of our organisation into play. Welcome those that are here. Welcome Jackie. Welcome Skull. Yeah, for those that don't know me, I'm Jerry, the community manager over at the AlphaGamingDAO Discord. We're a multiple game DAO that looks into new games, especially based on Harmony. We're really happy to be welcoming the team from Skullapes today. So, Jackie and Skull, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves, that'd be really nice.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's good, mate.
Perfect. All right. So I'm Edison. I'm a 13-year-old game developer, and I've created the Skullapes NFT game. Yeah. So Jackie, you want to add anything?
Sure. So Jackie, I'm Edison's father. So this is a father and son project, and so Edison, I think you can start from the Skullapes story. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Sounds good, guys. Father and son, I'm pretty excited about that. My young bloke headed off to school this morning, and he was pretty pumped that I was interviewing a 13-year-old. So Edison, you're already an inspiration to at least someone out here.
Thanks. That's great to hear. So let me tell you a story about the ape god. So 10,000 years ago, in the middle of a desert, there is a temple to the ape god. And in that desert, there are wars fought every single day. It's a very dangerous place to be, and you would need to go into the desert with many weapons and equipment to survive just a day. It's a very desolate place. Resources are drained, and there's only one place that apes go by choice, which is the temple to the ape god. Many apes worship the ape god, and that's where most battles are fought. So I'm building an NFT game to simulate the battles fought in the desert. So right now there are two ape factions battling in the desert. You have the blue apes and the brown apes. So the game that I'm building is just recreate the battle of the apes.
So it's very much post-apocalyptic world type thing going on there with where these apes are getting around, Edison.
Yeah,
awesome. I watched the little video, and it's it's got that Mad Max. I don't know if Mad Max might be a bit before your time, but very much Mad Max feel about it, which is an Aussie classic. So we can right amongst that.
The Mad Max is rated R. He's still 13, you know.
That's right. He's got a while to wait before he can even watch it. So
yeah,
no, that's cool. That's cool. So where the inspiration for the idea, Edison, where's that come from? It's a pretty interesting idea, I think.
So I started NFTs about a year ago, and when I started NFTs, my dad Jackie, he gifted me my first NFT from the collection Skullpunks. So it's a very cyberpunk set, and it's very futuristic, and that's partly where I got my inspiration. So when I started NFTs, I joined all these communities, and it really inspired me to create one of my own NFT communities. All these NFT communities really really showed me the potential of a community. They were all very friendly, and they were all very enthusiastic, and that's why I'm here.
I think the Harmony community I've sort of been mainly involved in on my end, and you're right, the support for people creating new ideas and getting involved and sharing ideas and being able to come together is really one of the best parts about the whole crypto space. Your technical background, like you've created something pretty cool here. I've been watching the videos, and at 13, I think something to definitely be pretty impressed by. But have you got a lot of experience coding, or is it something that you sort of got a passion for, Edison? Or tell me about how that's come about.
Well, I really enjoy coding. It's like one of the few things I really like doing in my free time. So when I code, it brings me the feeling that I get to create something on my own and not actually playing something someone else built. So I started coding when I was in first grade, and with the help of my dad, he taught me math and different ways to code. He taught me Unreal Engine, which is what I'm using, and he also taught me some Python. So when I started coding, I was like, it's pretty hard. And then once I got into details, when I actually started to create games, I was like, wow, all of these games that I've played, I have a chance to be one of those creators that built those games.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Pretty satisfying to be able to create something like that. I'm obviously not involved on the creative and the coding end, so I'm always a bit amazed when I talk to you guys that are good at this sort of stuff, because you just you speak a different language to some of us when it gets down to it. But it's something that's we don't put it at the forefront enough. So I'm glad that you've come out, and I can only think of what you're going to be able to turn this into. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. So you guys are at sort of the stage where you've been releasing a few demo vids, and sort of we know how the game's going to go a little bit. Those of us that have sort of followed it along. Do you want to tell us a little bit about where you're exactly up to in the dev process, and how things are going along, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the exact gameplay mechanics for those that haven't followed as closely after that.
So right now we have a web-based prototype, and it's basically a game to demonstrate multiplayer and as a start to the Skullapes desert. So Jackie, I'm gonna hand the mic to you. You can answer this one.
Yeah, sure. So, just give you a little background, like how this game was developed. So Edison started by prototyping some trailers and the ideas using Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine, for those who you don't familiar, it's like a game studio, AAA game studio. They use Unreal Engine to develop those highly realistic feeling games. And it's not easy. It's really not easy to develop compared to Unity. I've been working on Unreal Engine for a couple of years, and mainly developing VR. And my startup Science VR, we are fortunate to receive Epic Games, Epic Mega Grants. So I've been like doing Unreal for yeah. Go ahead.
Jackie, sorry to interrupt. When you say Unreal Engine's that little bit harder to use than a couple of the others, is that because it's more time dependent, or just that it's a little bit more intricate?
Yeah, if you look at the market share about game engine, 95 are Unity. Like 5% of game developers, they use Unreal. So it's a pretty steep learning curve.
It's just that next level up. More intense.
And well, since the pandemic, I think one great thing about happening during the pandemic is that we all got stuck at home. Edison has no school. I mean, school was paused for a few weeks. So during that time, every day I sent him some videos, and that's where he got really ramp up all the knowledge about Unreal Engine. And because I was around, I would be able to answer his questions. Like if he got stuck, I can like quickly show him the way to unstuck him. So right now he's really comfortable. I mean, mostly using Unreal Engine. And but probably, yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
I was just going to say that I think in time we're going to look back at this COVID situation and all the opportunities that it actually created for us all to create new paths, and it's going to look in the future it'll be quite an interesting history point to see the way that humans actually change their behaviour. It's I think it's a really interesting thing to talk about.
Indeed, yeah. So over that period, Edison really picked up using Unreal Engine. And however, Unreal Engine, if we want to distribute it, the only way is to Steam currently. And so for Steam, you have to download a standalone app, and it's I think it's too much hassle to launch a game and to try to play it like that. So at the same time, I've been developing WebXR. It's a platform where you can click a URL and you can join into this 3D environment, and people call it metaverse. And so you get to meet other players. You can talk to them, and you can have meetings, and we can host parties. We actually host like 2 Edison's birthday party in this WebXR environment. And
oh, that's cool.
So this, yeah, it's quite funny. Like everyone dressed up like a cartooning avatar.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool that you that we're able to start to do these things. And it's another thing, I guess, that goes back to that COVID situation, doesn't it? The ability to create communities and to have connection with people without actually having to see them in person.
Yeah. So currently, the Skullapes platform is on this WebXR environment where, and if you comes through our proposal, you can find a link that links to our first environment, the one desert. And when you come in, you'll be dressed as a blue apes. And right now we are deploying on testnet and beta testing on Harmony mainnet. And so we're going to have another play test tomorrow. And so it's a battle in desert. So whoever wins the battle will be able to claim a treasure from the treasure chest, and that'll be an NFT. So yeah, I can pass back to Go ahead, Jerry.
I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool idea, and I think it's at a really interesting stage. The last little video I was watching had the Skullapes throwing bananas at each other. I think an earlier one may have had some flame bowlers, if my memory serves me correctly. So gameplay mechanics and how that's going to work. Are we best to call it a first-person shooter, or are we going to call it a massively multiplayer online RPG?
Well, there's a lot of potential in this game, and it could be either way. But right now, I'm going for more of a first-person shooter game. So basically, once you click on the link, there's a prompt for you to connect your Harmony wallet, and that's how you're gonna claim your treasure. So once you join the game, you spawn in a cave, and in the cave, that's where everything starts. You can look around, and then you find a scroll with lore that you can click on, and then once you leave the cave, that's when you enter the battle. There's bananas and treasures that you can collect for points, and once you have enough points, you can throw bananas at other players to slow them down from winning. And how you win is to get 1,000 points.
That's cool. That's cool. And they've got a particular style about them. These apes. Is there a background in that style? Is that obviously touching back to some of those earlier NFTs that you'd perhaps seen? They're a rule unto themselves a little bit.
Well, when I started at NFTs, I really dug into the Bored Ape Yacht Club because at the time it was super popular and it was growing super fast. So that's when I realized that an NFT collection can really hit like this much popularity, and that's when I wanted to build my own Bored Ape Yacht Club, as in Skullapes.
Cool. So are we likely to see these apes in NFT form, Edison? Is that what it's shaping up, that you'll have your own personal ape at some stage that would be an NFT that would go into this post-apocalyptic style world, searching and battling, or is it something that's not quite like that?
You're on the track. So right now, once you win, you collect a Skullape treasure, and we're working on later on. We'll make it so that these treasures are like a capsule. If you've seen Clone X, there's like a Clone X capsule so that you can burn, and then you get a Clone X. You know, it's like the same thing with Mutant Ape Serum. You know, so basically, I'm trying to make the treasures somewhat like the capsules. So once you burn them, you get another item. Because right now the treasures are ERC 1155. So there's like, you can mint the same NFT as many times. But later on, you can burn those treasures to get a ERC. You can burn the treasures to get a unique NFT. And then that's where...
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say that's going to incentivize those people to come and play the game rather than people to just sit back. So that's important, I think, to point that out.
Yeah, so we're planning on making like ape avatars that you can mint with the treasures. So in order to get the actual apes, you have to play the game to get the treasures, and then you burn the treasures to get the avatars.
Cool. I think that's exciting. So at the moment, we're looking at those tokens, those treasure. I guess we call them tokens at this point, and converting into NFTs from there. Would you are you sort of planning on any sort of other tokenization down the track, like a native token, sort of similar to what we've seen other games create, or is that something that's probably not as necessary?
Well, the treasures itself already provide like a base currency value sort of thing. But we can definitely also create our own token for like easier buy sell, you know, so that you can form a market inside the Skullapes desert. So that could be like a bartering place, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, there's endless possibilities, as you said a little bit earlier. Once you start thinking it out, but it's really important to do it in stages, I think, as well. We talk to the devs that I think we talk to that are most successful, sort of have a very planned out idea of where things are going in the roadmap, and I think that's what you guys also sort of sound like is the plan as well, to make sure it works and make sure you walk before you can run is kind of important on these projects.
Yeah, agreed.
So that I've just gone quiet. I'm not sure if everyone can still hear me, but I'll keep pushing on. I actually wanted to just tell people that we have a page for questions in the Alpha Discord set up. So if anyone did have questions, I'm going to refer back to those at some point.
And so the treasures they also comes with a very special ability. And Edison, do you want to talk about the world creation part?
Yeah. So right now we have a weekly playtest, and once you win one of these events, you get a treasure, like I said before. So we're planning on working with the winners of these treasures to create a battle in the desert. So let me ask you, Jerry, what's your favorite battle in the desert from any movie, any book, whatever?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've already talked Mad Max, mate. If you're an Aussie of a certain age, you have to love that. So we'll go with that.
All right. So what we're planning on is, well, I have no idea what movie that is, first of all. So what we're planning on. So we can create that battle in the desert in our WebXR space, and we can recreate that battle, and maybe we can use some apes, maybe we can create some new treasures, and basically the treasures, they change every week, so it's like a weekly tournament. Every week there's a chance for you to get a new treasure. So maybe the first week you get like a ape skull, and the second week maybe you get like a powerful sword.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. And so it's sort of, you guys aren't really going the traditional mint sort of idea that others have gone down. Is that a fair enough assumption? Like, you guys are going to make people play to earn these NFTs?
Yeah. So that's what we're going for. We're going for like, we're prioritizing the game, and then the NFTs are to help to express the ownership of the items that you get from the game.
That's cool. I like it. I like it. So have you? Obviously, you've got Dad there. Is Dad kind of providing the financial side of things like this? Like, we've seen other projects that have to go for an early mint if they don't have VC backing and these sorts of things. Obviously, you're in a little bit of a different situation with your. I guess you're just fitting it in the non-school time, and you probably don't have rent to deal with either. So you guys don't have the same constraints that other projects perhaps bound by because of that.
I feel like building a community around it. It's more important than the public sale of NFTs, and so I think we've been discussing like how do we like launch the NFTs, but at the end, I think launching the game is more important, and have a community to build around the games, and also a community who cares about the gameplay, and also cares about the metaverse. So that's what we're aiming for. And I mean, I will develop this platform to support, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, that's really good to hear, and quite refreshing to hear as well. We're sort of the same ilk with Alpha. We're over here building community. We haven't tokenized at this point. It'll happen down the track, no doubt. But I think we sort of echo that sentiment where the community is more important, and what you can build up around it is more important. And if everyone comes in for early returns or to try and make money at the start, they're very easy to move on and find the next thing. So actually developing that connection, and sounds like Edison's got the ability to be in this game for a long time, so he's going to develop quite a few connections over the years, I'd imagine. But I just think putting that at the forefront of projects is really important. So I applaud you for that.
Yeah. So you can imagine it's the battle in the desert. There will be a lot of different battles, and you'll have your Mad Max, and I like Dune, so I might try to win a game, and be the host of the treasure, and to create this Dune battle with some treasure hunt within the desert itself. So as community member, they jump in and own the treasure, um, and we would love to see different ideas. And of course, all the battles, they are interconnected, and there will be different treasure hidden there, and the treasure can be used for power up, and some fancy wearables, and some cosmetic items, and even special abilities like you'll be able to use some special magic, or and like some magical items like invisible or teleporting, like things that you see in the movie that you really want to own that magical ability. Well, that's a power of a metaverse, right? And this is where we want to work with the community to really think about what's a fun part, what's an interesting story they want to be inside that story. And I think that this is the power of metaverse. Like in there, our imagination will be able to become closer to real.
Cool. Yeah, I love that sort of crowdsourcing creativity is a great thing because you just don't know. And this is what I'm always so excited about when I talk to new projects as well. I sometimes think the best ideas haven't even happened yet, and we don't know where they're going to come from. So opening it up to as many channels as possible is really exciting, and I love it when I'm hearing people sort of set up for that sort of an experience because what better way to be able to sort of fulfill those fantasies or fulfill those dreams or those ideas of whether it be superhero powers or whether it be a battle in the desert. Someone's going to come up with a Rommel reference at some point, I'm sure. Yeah, there's just so much you can do with it. Are you seeing much? Are you seeing much from your community at this point, Jackie or Edison? You can jump in. Are you having much interaction with the community in those sort of forms of suggestions and where it's heading?
Yeah, we have our weekly playtests. The last one was super successful. We got lots of feedback from different gamers, different creators. We got great feedback. As for like the Discord and the Twitter, it's also going very good. I think the Discord is going great. Still developing. Like this project is still in like super early development, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's there's a lot of people that are excited to be involved in this sort of early stage of development. Everyone gets the opportunity for a little peek behind the curtain as it goes. As sort of we've all followed gaming and we're all big gaming supporters, but we don't get such an opportunity to sort of be as close to the development of new things as what the play to earn space has given everyone. I've got a few questions. Speaking of Discord, coming back over the Discord here. So Randa is asking here if it's a multiplayer game only or if there's going to be a solo run version.
So right now we have a web-based prototype, and that is to demonstrate multiplayer, like I said before. And later on, I'm gonna create an Unreal Engine version of the Skullapes Desert. And then since like it's not on web, it might just run on your computer. It's gonna be like it's gonna render way more powerful, and I think we're gonna have a multiplayer game, and then we're gonna have a single player game, maybe to demonstrate the story a little deeper.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple other questions there that have come through that I think we've answered along the way. Yeah, for sure. So when we talk metaverse, when we talk these more extended things, are you likely to be sort of interacting with other NFTs and these sorts of things? We've seen a lot of games sort of take this path where they're going to be able to use NFTs from other projects within their own project. Is that something that you guys are interested in, or it might be something that's a little bit further down the track?
Yeah, I'm super interested in NFT games, and I got this friend that's suggesting me all these play to earn games. So I'm looking into like DeFi Kingdoms and other DeFi games, and yeah.
Yeah, there's some interesting ones out there. It's the space has sort of taken off. I think obviously you mentioned DeFi Kingdoms there, and I think they've sort of given people all the idea of, or at least a lot more equity than what they were going to have 6 months ago, and everyone's sort of in this real build stage. So it's quite interesting. We're seeing lots of projects sort of partner up or just speak of future partnerships. So I find it really interesting because that's sort of not something that perhaps game studios in an old-fashioned sense would have ever done. Like it would have taken a long time to get Sonic and Mario on the same screen, but these guys are all keen to do it as soon as possible.
Well, that's the power of NFT, right? It's a protocol, and well, since Edison's one of his favorite set is Skullpunks, so we might add into some Skullpunks elements into it, and also Boy Yacht Clubs. So the base avatars will be monkeys and apes and also blue apes, and so and the items, cosmetic items. I think we've been thinking about if you own a certain set, and because we are the platform we can implement to support those NFTs to be shown on your avatars. And so it's quite possible we can collaborate with other NFT set. They already have 3D items, or they plan to have 3D items, and we definitely can integrate with them and to show those 3D items into our either Unreal Engine or web base. So web base is a much easier for entry because you don't really need to download anything. Then you click a URL, then you're in the game. For Unreal Engine, the rendering will be so much better, and the response time is like a native game. Certainly have better experience, but you need to decide to wait for like a few minutes to download and to run it. So there's some trade-off, and we're also talking to other projects using Unreal Engine, like the Weverse, and also we got some friends, Rocky Monsters, and also some other friends they are using Unreal Engine pixel streaming. So there's some possibility there, and we're open to collaboration as well.
Rocket Monsters had a great mint this morning. They'd be really happy with themselves, I think. Yeah, so well, I guess we've seen Harmony's created that ability to go cross chain with these NFTs. We talked to a project last week that we're actually going to mint on multiple chains, which I found really interesting. So we see the whole, I guess we call it a metaverse, just becoming so much more interactive and interoperable. It's going to be interesting to see what that means for some of the bigger chains down the track. Do you have any opinions on that, Jackie, on what this sort of interuse and interoperability of the NFTs might mean for some of these chains and their tokens in the future?
Well, I think metaverse is always multi-chain because the game environment, it only matters like which wallet you sign in, but the gameplay and experience it doesn't really matter where you come from. So at least our platform, the WebXR platform, you can sign in from different chain. Although the treasure is on Harmony though, so you can still sign in with Ethereum, and but you cannot mint the treasure. Sorry, but by signing in, it gives you the ability to bring in your collection from that chain. For example, if you're signing with Ethereum, your username becomes your EMS. And if you're signing with your Harmony, then you can use the .crazy.1 as your username. And those, of course, it's going to bring your collection from that chain and for your wearables.
Yeah, the crazy one usernames are quite interesting. I haven't come across them too much in the past, but it's going to be quite. Yeah, it'll be. I'm intrigued to see where it heads because we're very tribalistic still in the crypto space. People have got their favorite chain, and they all want to champion their favorite chain. But I think we're going to head sort of post chain at some point soon, where you've come from and where you operate is really almost like your bank of choice. So you use that, but that's not to say you're not going to go shopping somewhere that doesn't have your own bank ATM. So I find it interesting to see where this will all head down the track, and you guys are probably right at the forefront of that.
Well, we found that blockchain has so many potentials, and I'm really like want to experiment a lot. I like to build stuff, so I guess we'll see how things work out. We don't know yet, but it seems to me metaverse is going to be multi-chain and cross-chain, and from different chain. Of course, that's your choice to stay on different chain or different chains that you like, but that's your choice. And of course, the collection is also build out your own identity, right? And yeah. So
I find it interesting that it's going to be a little bit different to sort of so much else in the technology space is sort of whoever does it most efficiently sort of gets all of the market or a huge market share. We see a lot of duopolies / monopolies starting to form in the sort of internet finance space, or not necessarily finance, but definitely retail with Amazon and these sort of, and Facebook obviously in the social media, and these sort of bigger companies taking up the whole market share for a certain sector of the market. But I think DeFi is sort of a bit of a fight back and a pushback against that. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see where that's going to go.
So we do have our playtest tomorrow, and maybe we can post a link in the Discord so that people can jump in and to experience what our like early prototype feels like and give us feedback. So
yeah, for sure. We'll put that up in our Discord. Definitely, if you guys have got a link there for anyone to go through to do some game testing, I'm sure we've got lots of people that'd be interested in that. Yeah, so when we finish off, if you guys just share that with us. I'm not sure how long you guys have got. I'm just going to go looking for a couple more questions. Pixetica, if you're still listening on, if you had any questions that I might have glossed over on my one track mind that you'd like to throw to Jackie or Edison?
No, I guess just firstly, I would add that, very exciting hearing that, a father and son duo are putting something like this together, and something I think quite unique in the space, especially on the Harmony chain. And yeah, exciting, happy to support, and I'm glad we've had this AMA, and pretty excited about what you might do and what it might become. But no, nothing else. Thanks, Jerry.
Cool, cheers, mate. I'm just Randall's got another couple here. He's do you have plans to bring in more friends or family? I guess you guys have got a family thing going on here just to help as the game development goes on, or is it something that you guys are going to keep between the pair of you for a little while?
Well, I would really hope to have more help for sure, from Harmony community and maybe some friends. And I know there's Edison has some young friends and they want to collaborate. I would love to see how they can like work on this project and push this project forward. And hopefully, I'll be handing off some of the stuff to them. And I really love to see how they can like work as a team in this Web3 era.
Yeah, I think. Well, I guess that's what we all hope, is that we can pass on something good for our youngins to be able to have a great chance at. So, thumbs up for that, Jackie. I think you've given Edison a great opportunity here, and yeah, just wow. So much respect for what you guys have been able to pull off here. But yeah, don't tell my young bloke yet, or he'll be expecting a game studio out of me.
Mate, you're already dad of the year.
I think we would love to like learn more about AlphaGamingDAO, and maybe we can find other people who are interested in game development and also NFTs, and to give us feedback or even tell us what kind of metaverse or world that you're imagining and you want to be in. Those are like, well, feedbacks are really like, help us to grow, and so we would love to work with you guys more.
I think there's definitely going to be lots of chances for us to talk in the future. We'll be setting up a Skullapes subpage on our DAO. So yeah, just a little bit of background for those that don't know much about Alpha. We're, as I said earlier, we're a cross game gaming DAO. Very early in our development as well, but we spend a lot of time talking to new projects, and we sort of trying to give people the opportunity to be introduced to new games and exposed to lots of different games and lots of opportunities across, at the moment, mainly the Harmony protocol and the Harmony ecosystem, because that's where most of us have come from. But we do sort of intend on naturally progressing with some of the games that we've been following. So at our heart, we're going to be very much a community-driven organisation, looking for a lot of engagement from our community. running multiple sub-DAOs within a larger treasury, looking for expertise and experience from the experienced players in certain games to help new players as they come along. A lot of that will develop into a little bit of a rental marketplace as our assets in our treasury grow, so that new players have an opportunity to use those assets and maybe find a game that they want to go deeper on themselves, or maybe they need to be able to have the opportunity to build up a bit more capital, as these NFTs can sometimes be a little expensive. We'll also operate as guilds within lots of the games that we're in. So yeah, that's a bit of background on us. At the moment, we've got a OG badge that's still for sale, and that's just a membership badge that we're using to sort of raise some funds to prove our concept as we go. We have an IDO for a token launch probably in the next few weeks. So yeah, we've actually just been in discussions with a launch pad over this week, so that's all really exciting for us. So yeah, we're hoping to be here for the long term. We're having a good time. So, and we really appreciate guys like yourselves sort of giving us the time to talk to and learn about new projects, because that's sort of what we're all going to be about. So yeah. And if anyone
That's
at
awesome.
the moment's listening along, like yeah, if anyone had any questions that they're not on the Alpha Discord, if you wanted to jump in with one, or you can put a request up now before we all disappear on you. Don't be shy. But other than that, we're sort of coming towards the end of it. But I would like to say again to thank you guys for being here, and I'm hoping that the record button was pressed at the start of that, which will mean we can share this both in our Discord and yours, and people that are looking back to do Edison's biography once he's taken control of this whole crypto space will know that he was awesome back in this time as well. So yeah, it's pretty exciting to meet someone that's got this sort of a journey in front of them, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. Really looking forward. Maybe you can invite us to other Twitter spaces. We'll be happy to talk.
Yeah, cool. We especially the new projects, it's really important that we sort of touch back in and see how they're going, and we find that we sort of share a lot of members as things go on. So we'll develop a bit of a relationship between our members and between ourselves, and we'll have a bit of fun with it over time. So yeah, really excited to see what you can do.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us. This is our first Twitter space. Wow, amazing.
Well, you've done so well, guys. You've done really well, and yeah, as I say, we'll be happy to have you back. We might do a Discord AMA at some stage. That's a little bit more interactive sometimes, and people can put the questions up for me. But yeah, all of these things are really important to just sort of keep informing people about what's out there, and as you say, keep finding those people that might have the next set of inspiration. So yeah, it's well and truly been worth doing it. And as you guys go on, I'm sure I'm going to hear lots and lots from you. That's for sure. I just think it's a great story. On that, guys, I think we sort of, unless anyone has anything else they want to add, we can just about call it. Pix, how are you going over there? You're the host.
Good. Good, mate. Yep, happy to wrap it up if we've answered all the questions, and I believe it was recording, so we will be able to put this up on both YouTube and in our Discord as well.
Yeah, we'll put it on YouTube there. That way I can get to count the views and add to my ego. That's what we love. No, thanks again, guys. Thanks everyone that's listened. Brilliant. We hope come and check us out on Discord. Go and check Skullapes out. Yeah, they're at a great stage and could be anything. So good luck, and thanks everyone.